Do you ever find yourself running through exactly what you want to say to someone because you think if they just understood where you were coming from, everything would finally be okay? But it never is. Stop trying to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You are currently holding a trial in your head for a crime you didn't even commit, and you're waiting for the person who accused you to also be the judge. That judge is biased. That jury is rigged. The only way to win is to walk out of the courtroom. Most people spend their lives as emotional puppets, pulled by strings they refuse to see. One wrong look ruins their day. One misunderstanding turns into a war. But your calm isn't supposed to be this fragile thing at the mercy of other people's mistakes. This is the psychological trap that keeps you small. You have been taught that being liked is a prerequisite for being safe, so your brain treats a wrong opinion like a physical attack. You feel a desperate, nagging itch to correct the record because you've made being understood a requirement for your own happiness. But think about the factual reality. Why do you care if a broken mind gives you a distorted judgment? If you wouldn't take their advice on your health or your future, why are you letting them audit your soul? You are letting people with no internal compass define your north. You are suffering in your imagination because you are convinced that their ignorance has the power to change who you actually are. Marcus Aurelius lived as the most powerful man on earth, and he was surrounded by people who were fake and judgmental. He realized that the people who praise you today will be the same ones who criticize you tomorrow, and that neither of those things touches the truth of who you are. He asked why we love ourselves more than others, but care more about their opinion than our own. It is a fundamental glitch in the human mind. We carry a courtroom inside our heads where the judge is a person we wouldn't even trust with our car keys. Marcus knew that your mind is an inner citadel. It doesn't have windows for people to shout through unless you build them yourself. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it. You have the power to revoke that estimate at any moment. You are using their validation as a shortcut to avoid the hard work of respecting yourself. It is much easier to get a quick hit of agreement than it is to sit in the silence and build a character that doesn't need a witness. You are suffering in your imagination far more than in reality. The factual reality is that they said a sentence. They gave you a look. They stayed silent. That is the entire reality. Everything else is a narrative you are constructing to hurt yourself. You are trying to prove your worth to people who haven't even proven their own integrity. This isn't just about a single interaction. It is about the trajectory of your entire life. If you spend your time trying to be right in the eyes of others, you will eventually become someone you don't recognize. This is where the real psychological shift happens. You have to move from being a seeker to being an observer. When you feel that familiar urge to explain yourself or win someone over, you have to pause. Look at the source. If they don't live with virtue, if they aren't disciplined, if they aren't honest, then their judgment is technically meaningless. Their confusion is their burden to carry, not yours. You are responsible for acting with honesty, but you are never responsible for how a dishonest person interprets you. At first, this will feel like a loss. Your ego will scream at you to defend your name. But every time you remain at peace while being misunderstood, you are winning the only battle that matters. You are proving to yourself that your worth is not up for debate. Think about the focus you would have if your energy stayed within your own borders. You do not need to be understood by everyone to be a person of value. In fact, the more you understand yourself, the less you will care who gets it wrong. Real freedom is being unshaken by the noise of the gallery. It is knowing that the world can throw whatever it wants at you, but it cannot change the truth of who you are unless you give it permission. You are the only person who has to live with your conscience for the rest of your life. Make sure that is the only person you are trying to impress. The moment you stop caring if they get it is the moment you finally become free. You are no longer a puppet. You are the author of your response. If this gave you the strength to stop performing for the wrong people today, it is because you are ready to protect the version of yourself you just discovered. This isn't just about a video. It's about a commitment to your own mental independence. If you want to stay grounded in this truth and keep building a mind that nothing can break, then walk this path with us. By staying connected, you are signaling to yourself that your peace is sacred and that you are done letting the world decide how you feel. You are stronger than their opinions.